The American Foundation for the Blind presents Using Google Docs and Drive with NVDA. Module 8, Checking Spelling and Other Tools.
This module will explore checking spelling, defining words, and document word count. We already have the Mozilla Firefox web browser open and Google Docs open to our practice document that we worked with in the previous module. Now, the tools that we'll be looking at in this video can all be found on the Tools Applications menu, which can be accessed by pressing Alt-Shift-T.
Tools submenu 6 of 10.
And then we can press down arrow to review the menu.
Spelling S 1 of 1. Research R shortcut Control plus Alt plus Shift plus I 1 of 1. Define D shortcut Control plus Shift plus Y 1 of 1. Document outline O shortcut Control plus Alt plus A Control plus Alt plus H 1 of 1. Word count W shortcut Control plus Shift plus C 1 of 1.
So we'll take a look at a few of these tools. I'll press Escape to close the Tools application menu.
Tools submenu 6 of 10. Title Learning Google Docs Document Region Grouping.
So the first we wish to look at is checking spelling. Now, rather than using the spell check option that we just saw on the Tools menu, we wish to look at another feature offered by Google Docs on the Accessibility menu. I'll press Alt-Shift-A.
Accessibility submenu 10 of 10.
And then again we'll press down arrow to review the menu.
Speak S, sub, comments C, footnote N, subheadings H, graphics G, list L, submenu link K, table T, sub, misspelling M, submenu 1 of 1.
And we found misspelling. I'll press right arrow to expand the menu.
Move to next misspelling shortcut Control plus 1 of, move to previous misspelling shortcut Control plus semicolon 1 of 1.
So here we see that Google Docs offers the ability to move directly to the previous and next misspelling. I'll press Escape to close the Accessibility menu.
Practice Google Docs Mozilla.
So we do wish to use those keyboard shortcuts instead, because not only will they move our cursor to the previous or next misspelling in our document, but it'll also make it easier for us to review both before and after the cursor position to get some context of the misspelling and help us to choose the appropriate correction being offered by Google Docs. So let's move to the first misspelled word in the document by using the keyboard shortcut of Control with apostrophe.
Misspelling normal text sentence.
And I think I know that that should be sentence, but again, we can review the entire line by pressing down arrow and up arrow.
Misspelling egg. Misspelling format changes will be shown right here. This sentence returns to normal text.
So it is what we thought. So we can use Control with the arrow keys, as we did in previous modules, to move the cursor a word at a time.
Dot text. Normal. 2. Returns. Misspelling sentence.
And then to correct this word and to take advantage of the corrections being offered by the spell check in Google Docs, we need to use the context menu. Now, this can be done either pressing the applications key on your keyboard, which is normally the key to the left of the bottom right control key, or if your keyboard doesn't have that key, or if you wish, you can also use the Google Docs keyboard shortcut for the context menu, which is Control-Shift-X.
Menu submenu.
The context menu opens and I can press the down arrow.
Sentence. Spelling suggestion 2 of 2.
And we hear a spelling suggestion of sentence. And I can simply press enter to accept the correction.
Grouping.
Then if we review our line again,
format changes will be shown right here. This sentence returns to normal text.
We see that the word was in fact fixed. So then we can move to the next misspelling by again Control apostrophe.
Entering page 2 of 2. Misspelling fiddle.
And we can use the arrow keys to get some context.
Misspelling 3 point. This is the fiddle item.
That should be final. So I can again
misspelling exited item. Misspelling fiddle.
Make sure my cursor is on the misspelled word. Access the context menu with Control-Shift-X or the applications key.
Menu submenu.
And down arrow.
Final. Spelling suggestion 2 of 2.
And again, as in most cases, the first corrected or the first suggested correction is almost always the one that we want. I'll press enter.
Grouping.
And continue on. There's one more misspelled word, control apostrophe.
Misspelling shortcuts.
Shortcuts. Sounds like it's missing a letter. So we'll press Control Shift X.
Menu submenu.
And the down arrow.
Shortcuts. Spelling suggestion 2 of 2.
And enter to accept the change.
Grouping.
Now let's take a look at another useful tool that's available in Google Docs, which is the ability to define a word. I'll press Control End to jump to the end of our practice document.
Image alt text description. AFB logo. Expanding possibilities.
And then I'll press up arrow to locate a word that we wish to define.
Heading 2 graphics. 2x4 table entered row 4. Row 3 presentations. Row 2 spreadsheets and data.
Spreadsheets would be a good word. So I'll use the Control and arrow keys to put my cursor there.
Data and spreadsheets.
And then we wish to select the word spreadsheets so that it will automatically be passed to the dictionary tool. I'll press Control Shift right arrow to select the word.
Spreadsheets selected.
And then we could either use the Tools menu again with Alt Shift T, or the direct keyboard shortcut to define a word we saw was Control Shift Y.
Search dictionary edit has autocomplete. Spreadsheets. Spreadsheet down stress spread secondary stress set an electronic document in which data is arranged in the rows and columns of a grid and can be manipulated and used in calculations. We have a color-coded Excel spreadsheet of all of our trip expenses. William spent most of the day updating the risk assessment spreadsheet. Verb stress spread secondary stress set spreadsheets third person present use or create a spreadsheet ...
So a lot of information is presented here, along with the definition, the pronunciation, and the tool can also be used to find synonyms for words when they're available. So if I wanted to review that information in more detail, we would need to remember to first turn off the focus mode of NVDA and to switch to browse mode. And remember, we do that with NVDA with the space bar. Then we could use the arrow keys to move around and read a line at a time or a word at a time to get more detailed information. And then before returning to our document, we would want to switch back to NVDA's focus mode, again with NVDA spacebar. And then to close this dialog, I can simply press Escape.
Spreadsheet selected document region. Grouping. Dictionary search. Use dictionary search to find.
And then the last tool we want to look at is the document word count tool. So again, this is available on the Tools menu with Alt-Shift-T, or it also has a direct keyboard shortcut of Control-Shift-C for word count.
Spreadsheets unselected. Word count dialog.
So in this case, just as we described a moment ago, we do need to switch to NVDA's browse mode to review this information. So we'll press NVDA with the spacebar.
Word count.
And we heard the sound indicating that we are now in browse mode. And now we can just use the up and down arrow keys to read through this information.
Heading word count. Button close. Pages. 2. Words. 104. Characters. 625. Characters excluding spaces. 549. Clickable button close.
So we were just using the arrow keys to review the information using browse mode. So now that before returning to our document, we again want to switch back to focus mode. So that's NVDA with spacebar. We heard the sound effect confirming that we've returned to focus mode, and I can simply press Escape to close the word count dialog and return to our document.
For more LearnTech tutorials, visit afb.org/learntech. This tutorial was presented with support from the Lions Club's International Foundation and the Jesse Ball DuPont Fund.